Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Thursday morning to you. One step closer to the weekend. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We come to you each morning from the Jarrett Construction Studios. Right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show. A service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting service provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor on Virginia Street. Check out bestmastertaylor.com. Thursday edition of the show, and we got homecoming to talk about next week for Marshall University. It's next week, but there's an entire week's worth of activities going on related to that. It all starts on Monday. We're going to talk to Melanie Pagliaro from the Kanawha Valley chapter of the Marshall Alumni Association. Also, Walker Tatum, the director of alumni engagement for Marshall, is going to stop by. Jared Page is here as well. He's currently the vice mayor of St. Albans, and he has an announcement to make, we think, on his political future. What's on his mind? We'll get to that a little bit later on. Plus, your calls and texts are welcome to throughout the show. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Our good friend Marjorie Cooke from Advantage Valley is here. How you doing, Marjorie?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Welcome to the new digs. You've not been in the new studio. Been in here since March, and we kind of like it. We kind of like it.
Looks fantastic.
All right. So before we get in, and you're here to talk about something specific with Advantage Valley, and we're going to get to that here momentarily. Talk about your work with Advantage Valley overall, then we'll get to this specific thing.
Sure. Well, Advantage Valley, for those who may not know, we are a regional economic development nonprofit, and my role within the organization is to be the marketer and communicator. So I tell the story of what we are doing, but we are in the business of business attraction to the region, business retention, working with existing businesses, and also we have a thriving entrepreneurship program. So some of my marketing is global. Some of my marketing is here local, talking about local food producers, which is what I'm going to talk about today. And so generally we have a small staff and we partner with so many organizations, but first and foremost, the local economic development authorities in a 9-county region, including Boone, Cabell, Clay, Jackson, Kanawha, Lincoln, Mason, Putnam, and Wayne.
I like that because sometimes we think about Advantage Valley, and I have, Terrell Ellis on, I've had you folks on, and other people with the organization, and when you say the Valley, everybody just thinks, wow, it's stuff in Charleston, which it is, and it's stuff in Putnam County, for example, which it is, but 9 counties in this thing.
Right. We stretch. We consider it the 2 metro regions, including Huntington and Charleston, the 2 largest cities in the state and the largest GDP and the largest population base. So
what's been keeping you, we'll get to this, but other than the Taste of Appalachia, which is what we're going to get to here momentarily, what's been keeping you busy here lately?
Well, our entrepreneurship program is booming. We have multiple events upcoming. So I'm promoting a couple business certification workshops, one upcoming in Mason County and one in Putnam County. And this week, in fact, it's tonight, we have a Claim Your Listing virtual event. And Sasha Strader is one of our business coaches, and she will help folks use a free marketing tool, how to get out there on Google, Yelp, and Google Maps to make sure your business is seen and heard and you've got accurate information. So log in tonight.
Important.
Yes.
So how do people log into this tonight?
Tonight, you can hit our website, which is AdvantageValley.com, and head to the Faster West Virginia page, and the details are there.
All right. So you're here to talk about Taste of Appalachia.
Yes.
You had me at taste. So, so what is this thing? Talk about it.
This is a new initiative. It's the first time we've ever done this, and it is a program designed to support growth and market expansion of local food producers this holiday season. Breaking that down, that means we have curated carefully 8 holiday gift boxes that are available for sale. You can pick them up, you can have them shipped, and they showcase some of the best of our Advantage Valley region. They're all West Virginia producers. We have 17 food vendors from 9 different counties. Some stretch a little bit outside of Advantage Valley. But we have put together themed gift boxes for folks to give this holiday. The key is, Dave, that we only have 8 days left.
Okay.
Our orders are open until October the 17th. But we have an incredible lineup of featured vendors, and we are working with the partner with the Department of Agriculture. They're helping us pack some of the boxes. But we are thrilled. You know how at the holiday season there's always a push to buy local? This is the option to buy local, but we will help with your holiday gift giving. In fact, I ordered one of my 5 this morning because I didn't feel like I could come on the show if I hadn't put my money where my mouth is.
Absolutely.
So, I'd love to share, if you'd let me, these vendors.
Now, look, if I start chewing on this new microphone here, then that's on you because, this stuff's not paid for yet. So I don't get all drooly here because I'm looking at the flyer that you brought in and everything from breakfast to snacks to cocktails, sweet and salty. So, yeah, let's go over them.
Yes. Well, we have, of the 8 boxes, we have something called the West Virginia Favorites. And that includes, I'll just give some details here.
Yep.
J.Q. Dickinson salt. We all love that. Coal River coffee. Dark Hollow Foods artisan sauce. Apparently this has a cult following. Tipsy Roo's plastered peach barbecue sauce. Fantastic. Sugar Bottom Farms with a raw wildflower honey. They're out of Clay County. And a Legacy Foods apple cider vinaigrette dressing. Fantastic product. So
that's just one, but that's just the West Virginia Favorites box.
That's just the West Virginia Favorite box, and that costs $55. Our boxes range from $29 up to $55. And in addition to those vendors, we have, let's see, who did I not mention? Ronk Family Farm from Lincoln County, Heinerman Hill Farm, Ordinary Evelyn's. You've probably heard of some of these. Sassy Gals, Blue Smoke Salsa, Jumpin' Johnny's, Dark Hollow Foods, I mentioned them, Copperhead Bloody Mary Mix, Jarhead Farms with a peach cocktail mocktail syrup, Harvest Trails freeze-dried oranges, Tasty Blend, and Deskin Candy out of Mason County. Mason County,
yeah. That's good stuff. And I'll tell you, this would be good for so many different people. I'm thinking like a business that wants to buy several of these to give to their customers, their vendors or whatever, and to really show off West Virginia here, because you talk about those products. I mean, those products are products that, they're West Virginia, but they got a nationwide, in many cases, a worldwide following. I mean, West Virginia Snack Attack. That's got of course, you got to have Mr. B's in there. The Veteran Made. I love that.
Yes.
You got one that's all veteran made.
All veteran made producers, and we want to highlight these producers.
Yes.
Our ultimate goal is to promote and support local businesses, creating more visibility for their products and providing a platform for market expansion and scaling. Because some of these folks, our first order, Dave, if you can believe it, was for 700 boxes.
Nice.
And we are up to 968 as of this morning. But this means the world to them.
Sure,
for their
absolutely.
Fourth quarter to have an order of 700 of their best product or one of their unique products. So we help entrepreneurs in our programming.
Right.
So we have 3 business coaches. We, bring new people into the program. We often work with startups, but we've got some food producers that are doing some amazing things, and we are really trying to help them scale.
Looking at some of the other ones here, the sweet and salty, that's got the J.Q. Dickinson heirloom salt, but it's also got burnt caramel sauce.
Yes. Well, we all love J.Q. Dickinson, and they hosted a special kickoff event for us in September.
Yep.
And we wanted a box dedicated to them because they do such phenomenal work. So they have a model that a lot of these other smaller producers can look to and grow. But that is our sweet and salty box. And I had some of that burnt caramel sauce last night, I'm going to admit.
Oh, really? And the verdict was?
Oh, over ice cream, it's the best.
Absolutely. In Appalachia, we love breakfast at any time, breakfast for dinner or whatever. We get this breakfast essential. It comes with Taze Valley biscuit mix, Legacy Foods apple butter, Ronk family maple syrup, the Coal River Coffee's Wild and Wonderful roast, the Heinerman Hills family sourdough pancake mix, and also their granola. And as we said, there's just so many of these different things available. How do you go about getting the West Virginia companies to take part in this?
Well, we have done our yeoman's effort to try to alert corporations that this would be a perfect gift to give to your best clients and have in the break room. You can reach and order through our website if you're placing a smaller order, which the website is tasteofappalachia.com. Pretty simple. We hope there's going to be a crash on the website now with all these people signing in.
We hope.
And if a corporation is listening and they would like to make an order of 10 or more, we encourage you to contact Rachel Kaufman, and she is at 304-549-8991, or call the Advantage Valley offices, and we will take a bulk order for you. And
I'm looking at your flyer that you provided me with here, and there's so many other companies that have helped out with this, that are part of Marshall University, West Banco, West Virginia Manufacturers Association, Bowles Rice, Charleston Area Alliance, West Virginia Executive Magazine, Putnam County Chamber of Commerce. I'm just mentioning a couple of those. They're there because you can't do this stuff if you don't have these other partners involved.
Exactly.
In that.
Thank you for mentioning that, Dave. We did with our kickoff event. We had a full day, 11 to 4, showcasing of the products, and so these vendors were out there giving samples. We wanted folks to taste, before buying. But like you said, some of these are already favorites. But we also had a cocktail event, and the whole day we did have a wonderful array of corporate sponsors helping us out. So thank you for mentioning those.
And we want to make sure that people know that if you are going to order these things, they are due October the 17th.
Yes. So it's order now, and these boxes are to be shipped the week after Thanksgiving. So we're talking early holiday gifts. But you have to do it now. So this is a great time to buy and be done with some of those, You
ever thought about doing like the QVC thing? Because I think you might be good at it, Yeah. But wait, there's more.
I'll just say, when we have shared this idea with folks, the concept of uplifting our local producers,
I love it. Yeah.
And all of us can participate in economic development. If we buy this way, we support our people. And once people get that, they kind of get the chills and they say, I want to be a part of this.
Want to be a part of this. So give us the website, social media, whatever else you got.
There are 8 more days to shop, so I encourage you to go to tasteofappalachia.com. And again, if you have a larger order, give us a call and we will put you in touch with one of 2 people who can help you literally upload a spreadsheet of addresses where you need to have those boxes shipped. Or we also have a pickup option if you want to give these gifts and pass them out to your clients hand delivered, which is a nice touch, I will say. But I just love this program and I love these vendors, and I'm just thrilled to be able to support them. And I'll tell you, we had one vendor who all of a sudden we gave them an order of 750 of their product, and they were beside themselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Said we're gonna
he also said, now how many weeks do I have to do this?
Yeah. It's like, okay, somebody's got to pull this thing off, but I'm sure that they'll do just fine with it. Marjorie, it is a pleasure, as always, to have you on the show, and the great work that the Advantage Valley folks are doing, and this is a great program helping out West Virginia companies. It's great stuff. I appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you so much, Dave, for having us. And I forgot to bring you a box, but I'm going to.
Okay. All right. That's not required, but I'm just saying.
I'm allowed to do that?
Well, yeah, of course you can. It's not like payola in the 1950s. I'm not playing records for you in here or whatever. I can sample it and maybe share it, maybe.
Exactly.
Now, the couple of these boxes, I'm going to tell you what, they ain't getting shared. If I get one of those boxes, you're on your own. All right, Marjorie, appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Check out generationsford.com. Jared Page coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I am often asked, what is the value of my case? The answer, of course, depends on your injuries, liability, and the damages to you financially. And it also very much depends on the law firm you hire to represent you. All firms are not the same. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been here at your time of need. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
Football season is here. Get Mountaineer football coverage and watch live high school football games every week by downloading the Metro News television app. It's Metro News shows all day, including Talkline, Sportsline, 3 Guys Before the Game, Metro News Middays, Hotline, and our new feature, State of Minds, right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television is powered by the University of Charleston, the West Virginia Department of Tourism, Dan Cabot Toyota, the WVHTC Foundation, WVU Medicine, and Trojan Landing Marine and Power Sport.
BetMGM Casino has something special this fall. Join now for a 100% deposit match up to $2,500 plus 50 bonus dollars on the house and 50 bonus spins using bonus code WVCasino and sign up. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 plus. West Virginia only. Please gamble responsibly. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credit/bonus bets unless otherwise provided in the applicable terms. Rewards subject to expiry. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. The Greenbrier is BetMGM's exclusive West Virginia casino affiliate.
Welcome back to the show, 924. Homecoming is next week. Not just the game for Marshall University. It's the entire week of activities. We're going to talk to some folks about that. It actually kicks off Monday. They'll be joining us in the studio coming up a little bit later on. In the meantime, Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. The Salango Law Light the Night, returning to Go-Mart Ballpark November 21st through January 1st. Get your tickets in advance by visiting dblightthenight.com. I want to welcome in now Jared Page, who is the vice mayor of the city of St. Albans. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well. How about you, Dave?
I am doing fine. Thanks for being here. We're not going to talk sports, you and I, because if we talk sports, it'll be a throwdown, and I'll end up kicking you out of the studio.
Yes,
so we're not here to talk sports today.
No, sir.
No, not a word about Penn State, I promise.
No.
I'm kidding. Couldn't resist, man. I couldn't resist. Got to lighten the mood a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
No. It is what it is. That's all we can say.
Yeah. All right. So, what's on your mind today? You got something you want to tell us?
Yeah, Dave. So I again appreciate being here, and you were talking about homecoming. It's not what I want to talk about, but never forget that St. Albans homecoming game is tomorrow evening, and we got a homecoming parade this afternoon at 6 o'clock. So folks, don't forget about that. But I'd like to tell you and your listeners first that I will be a candidate for the Kanawha County Commission in the Republican primary in the 2026 election this upcoming May. Okay. I come here as a lifelong Kanawha Countian, born and raised here in St. Albans, son of a law enforcement officer, Marine Corps veteran, and love this county. I always have, love my hometown. And when Commissioner Lance Wheeler, who has decided to run for the state senate in District 8, and we wish him the best of luck, I had several people reach out and say, you've done some positive things in the city of St. Albans. Would you be interested in maybe looking at the county commission? And after doing some research and thoughts and prayers and speaking to friends and family, it is something that I'm going to do. I want to focus our county I want to focus on having positive public safety messaging and working with Sheriff Joey Crawford and Prosecutor Deb Rusnak. We have issues in the county with drugs on and off the streets. We're going to continue to look at that, and both Joey and Deb have done great things with that. Also want to work with both of them on school safety. Our children is our most important asset that we have in our county, and we have to make sure that they are protected at all costs. Also want to look at economic development. We want to make sure that we have jobs, new jobs, great jobs for people to move here. We want people to come from not only other parts of West Virginia, but out of state to Kanawha County. Make sure they have places to do and continue to promote sports tourism. That's huge for me. Look at what's happened with the trails and Meadowood Park and what's happened at Shawnee. The Kanawha County Commission took what was a failing golf course, and I say that biased because obviously I love to play golf, played a lot of golf at Shawnee, but they were on the struggle bus, and turned that into a great recreation center, one I use very frequently to play pickleball, just to go walk, and it's a great thing. I want to continue what the good work that President Salango, Commissioner Wheeler, Commissioner Tennant has done on bringing sports tourism to Kanawha County, and also just to improve and work on the quality of life here. As I said earlier, we want people to move here. We want people to enjoy their time in Kanawha County. And you do that, I want to double the efforts of what the Kanawha County Commission, I'll be the first to say they do a great job in dealing with dilapidated structures, tearing those dilapidated structures down. That also, that's kind of a issue where you have a crime take place at those dilapidated structures. If we can take some more of those down, promote economic growth in those areas, I think that we're going to continue to succeed as a county. And I would like to bring that experience that I have as a municipal government as well as working in state government to the county commission. And I think we can do great things for the county.
Talking to Jared Page again, who's announced he is going to be running for county commission next year. What do you bring to the table as far as your background? Give us a little bit of your bio.
Yes, sir. So I am currently your St. Albans vice mayor, as you said earlier, and also councilman at large. In a past life, I was also the St. Albans municipal judge. I have undergraduate and graduate degrees from the University of Charleston and multiple things. And so I've been able to work in the city of St. Albans in all of these areas, talking about public safety. I was a municipal judge, actually working directly with Prosecutor Rusnak as well as Prosecutor Miller and trying to clean up our streets of St. Albans, as well as our school resource officer. And obviously, like I said, our sheriff's kind of a St. Albans staple as well. Mm-hmm. And so bring that experience. Economic development. One of my key pieces of legislation that I've been able to pass as a councilman is an economic development driven item for our Main Street area. I've had multiple individuals on Main Street come up to me and say, we've made more money this way because of this bill that we were able to, or this ordinance that we were able to pass. So I want to continue to drive that and give our citizens more opportunities to shop, to enjoy things. I really am going to work on a dilapidated structure. That's something that, as a council person, I was able to sponsor and pass a land reuse ordinance. So that way we can create our own land reuse agency. And I have experience in all three of those fields. I've done it on a municipal level. I've worked with individuals. I have great relationships with our state representatives as well as our federal representatives. I've been able to work on dilapidated structure properties in the city to promote growth. And I'm going to bring all that experience and relationships from top to bottom to our county commission.
Talking to Jared Page again, who has announced he will be running for county commission here in Kanawha County. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe that when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. So what's the plan for the campaign? I mean, it's a little early to announce, but that's okay. People just do it earlier and earlier, and I guess that's something that you have to do these days. But what's your attack plan for the campaign?
Well, it may be a little early, but I feel at this point, like I said, it's actually a little late. The plan today is we'll be filing official paperwork today at 4 p.m. at the county courthouse, county clerk's office, and I will be accompanied by Commissioner Lance Wheeler, Sheriff Joey Crawford, and Prosecutor Deb Rusnak to show their strong support and endorsement of my candidacy. And we're just going to hit the ground running. We're going to start a countywide listening tour, going around meeting individuals from across the county, listen to what their concerns are. Not all areas in Kanawha County have the concerns or same issues. And I really want to be someone who is accessible from everywhere, from St. Albans to Elkview to Campbell's Creek. I throw Campbell's Creek in, being a father's side of the family's from Campbell's Creek, spent a lot of time there, so I'm a kind of a half creeker. But all across the county, be visible, be able to talk to people and learn what really the issues are. I've spent a lot of time across the county over the years, and I think I've got a decent understanding, but it's important to me to listen to others and to act on their needs and wants. And,
the thing about Kanawha County is the largest county in the state, and it's a very diverse county. And all of the county commissioners, I think, as you said, they do a great job. The sitting county commissioners and even ones in the past have, there's a lot of commonality, I guess, on certain issues, but some of the issues that maybe downtown Charleston faces may not be the same as Campbell's Creek faces. There's some similarities, but you got to do a good job of being out there and figuring out, we got this issue at Tornado, but it's not necessarily the same as an issue we've got in South Charleston. So you've got to kind of put all these things together.
Yes, you do, and I think that's why I'm a kind of a unique candidate in this race, and we'll, as the campaign goes on, we'll be dropping endorsements and supports later from across the county. But I've gathered support early on from individuals from literally every area of Kanawha County, and it's been beneficial to learn about those concerns because, like you say, an issue in Nitro may not be the same as one in Marmette or Bell or Sissonville. But, there are some things that are consistent. And one of the things I want to look at is Raleigh County the Raleigh County Commission just passed a countywide panhandling ordinance. This is something I would like to look at the Kanawha as a potential commissioner for Kanawha County. You look at Cross Lanes, for example. That's a very busy area of Kanawha County.
Vegas.
Yes.
Cross
Vegas. And that's a very busy area of our county. And it's been a pleasure of mine to work with Delegate Shamlin and discuss with him the issues going on with the road construction and all that in Cross Lane. But look, Cross Lane's an unincorporated area. You have people there that are, constantly on the streets, and it's a safety hazard. It's a safety hazard not only for them, but it's a safety hazard for those in traffic. And when you're already having a nuisance traffic issue that's causing delays consistently, you don't need to have more. And so that's just one of the few things that, sure, that's one specific area, but that could be beneficial across the county. Obviously, city ordinances, that they have their own within city and incorporated area. But for those that are an unincorporated area, I think this is something important to look at for the safety of all.
So, as I said, that you were going to, hit the campaign trail running. You're going to go door to door. You're going to do meet the candidates things, a little bit of everything.
I will be doing a little bit of everything. I've already I went to Nitro this past Friday to their homecoming football game. Met a lot of people. I saw a lot of old friends. I'm going to be hitting the trail this Friday, be at our St. Albans homecoming football game against South Charleston. Hopefully St. Albans get that first big win this Friday. I think there's hopefully a chance, but I'll be heading door to door. Be going next week. I'll be at Sissonville few nights, but I'm going to be across the county. I'm going to be very visible. When campaigning before for city council, I was at every event, not just, here I am waving and all that, but I like to talk to people. And you know me, others know me. I try to be approachable. I want and I welcome disagreement. I welcome someone talking to me that may not necessarily be a supporter of mine or may be unsure. I welcome that because it makes us better, and it makes us better not only as candidates but as human beings. And I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be hitting the doors, hitting the parades, hitting all that. I'll definitely be going to every city council meeting. I will be meeting with all municipal mayors. I'm a board member of the West Virginia Municipal League. I think it's important as a potential county commissioner for county commissioners to meet with our municipal leaders as well as our state representatives. As I said earlier, I've worked at the state level for many years now, and I have tremendous relationships with our constitutional officers and our members of our West Virginia Senate and West Virginia House of Delegates. And I'll be meeting with them, see what their concerns are, and just build relationships. That's what I think is most important when it comes to public services, building relationships, building trust, and that way you can work together and do what's best for Kanawha County.
Well, Jared, we wish you the best of luck. We'll have you on again.
Yes, sir.
I did have. Can you take one text about St. Albans, because it was just a question? Why does St. Albans have their homecoming parade the day before the game instead of 2 hours before the kickoff?
That has been a tradition. When I was in homecoming court, believe it or not, I was popular back in the day. I was homecoming court all throughout school. It's always done before the Thursday before what St. Albans, and essentially it's different than other communities because our football field is not locally, it's not downtown or near the school, and so it's kind of hard to do the parade route to the football stadium. Sure. But there will be a tailgate before at Crawford Field. I believe it's at 5:30. But that's why it's the day before. And that's a good question, but it's always been the day before since I was in high school many, many moons ago. And I would like to say one last thing, and if that's okay, not about St. Albans, but about somebody who cannot be here that meant a lot to me and meant a lot to Kanawha County, and I would be remiss if I didn't say something about it. And that's Justice Tim Armstead. Justice Armstead was a friend of mine, first person I ever campaigned for when he was Speaker of the House. I was a little freshman at the University of Charleston, and of course Tim was a proud alumnus of University of Charleston. And I met him there, and I thought, boy, this is Speaker of the House. I've got to be, top notch and really. I'm always professional, but he's the speaker, and I'm a freshman in college. I don't know anything. He was the most humble human being, just the nicest person. And I say that in the world of politics and on all levels, you have people who do it for the right reasons, you have people who do it for the wrong reasons, and that's just the nature of the beast. Tim was one of the good guys, and he always told me that no matter what, if you do the right thing, it's going to work out. And if elected to the Kanawha County Commission, I'm going to continue that mentality and that work ethic that Tim always shared with me and kept as Speaker and as Justice of the Supreme Court. And it's going to be sad. I always told Tim when I was first sworn in as municipal judge, he was who swore me in, came to St. Albans to do it during COVID. And I said, Justice, I hope we get to do this again someday. And he said, he said, well, you've got a great future ahead, and I look forward to doing this. And when I was sworn in as council and vice mayor, he was receiving treatment. And it's just sad that we got this opportunity, and he's not here for it. But I just want to say for the listeners and those in Kanawha County who are new to Justice Armstead that while he may not be here, his legacy will never be forgotten with me or with the Kanawha County Commission if elected, and I plan to keep the principles that he practiced and keep his honor alive as a Kanawha County Commissioner.
All right. Jared, wish you the best of luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I got to say it. Fly, Eagles, fly tonight.
Oh, here we go. He had to do it. He's a big Eagles fan. And
they play Thursday Night Football tonight.
Thursday Night Football. All right. You got it in there. All right. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Rich the Realtor and Meeks Realty Group. This listing is unbelievable. 14 Stonegate Drive subdivision in Tays Valley. Great home for entertaining. Plenty of room for guests. 6 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 2 kitchens, 3 wet bars, and just over 8,500 square feet, listed at $874,900. Call Rich today, 304-932-7488. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Huracan, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
The latest in news, talk, and sports when 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Call 304-344-9140 for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Tune into the morning news on 580 WCHS for What's Up with WVU Sports. Catch the Golden Blue Report for daily insights into your favorite Mountaineers. From game highlights to exclusive interviews. Get your WVU Sports fix every morning on 580 WCHS.
Welcome back to the show. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. It's a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com, under the podcast menu. Homecoming in Huntington next week for the Marshall Thundering Herd, but it's not just about the football game. There's a lot of other activities that go along with it. Melanie Pagliaro and Walker Tatum are here to talk about it. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
I got to ask you, how did your event go last week? Because this was, Melanie, this was the Kanawha Valley chapter of the Marshall alumni. You had a big kickoff at the Ruffner last week. How'd it go?
It was a fabulous turnout, so thank you.
How many people approximately?
I'd say over 50.
Over 50.
Yeah.
Cool.
Huge success.
Yeah.
Big success. All right, so it's homecoming next week for the Marshall University Thundering Herd. Of course, they have a home game this week, but homecoming is next week. And we think about homecoming, we think about the game, which is obviously what it's all centered around, but it's an entire week's worth of activities.
Absolutely. And Walker's going to fill us in. We have some things starting from Monday, something planned every day. And so I want to get the word out, and hopefully folks from all over the area will come down and hang with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you know, homecoming's a special time on campus. It's an opportunity for alums and family and friends to come back and enjoy all of the festivities we have, as Melanie mentioned. You know, we start on Monday, and in the evening of Monday, we have the Unity Walk, which is something that's planned for the university where we all kind of come together as a community. And we walk the perimeter of campus, and our athletic director, Gerald Harris, will actually be giving a keynote address. So that'll be a fun opportunity. You know, one of the privileges of our jobs is we get to coordinate the homecoming Grand Marshal. And this year we have an out-of-this-world Grand Marshal. His name's Jim Thornton. He's the voice of Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
And he's coming back to serve as our Grand Marshal, and he'll be there the entire week for all of these events. So even on Wednesday, Jim loves Jim's spaghetti. So we're going to be having a Meet Jim at Jim's. And that's for the community to come out and be able to get an autograph and take a picture with Jim.
And I bet a lot of people aren't aware of that Jim Thornton, the voice of Wheel of Fortune, is a Marshall guy.
He is. So he's a Marshall alum. He grew up here in Huntington, and, you know, he's been on the West Coast, and he's had a very successful career. But Marshall's always been his school, and I actually went to L.A. a couple of weeks ago, and we got to go on the set of Wheel of Fortune and get to see him in his element, and just the way that he he leads and he, lets people know he's from this area and represents this community. It's just out of this world.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, so just take us through the rest of the week.
There's also, of course, student events going on throughout that week. Mentioning the Unity Walk on Monday. The latter part of the week is always the busiest, of course. So with our office and alumni, we actually get to do office decorating with offices on campus. And, our theme this year is Wheel of Thunder to kind of, pay a nod to Jim and his career. So we'll be doing office decorating all day and the judging of that on Thursday. And then that leads us into one of the largest athletic events during homecoming, which is Hoops in Huntington. So they set up the basketball court downtown, and it's an opportunity for the community to meet the coaches and meet some of the players and have a fun time downtown.
And that's a very exciting environment. If folks are around, need to come in and watch you're sitting right there on 3rd Avenue, and they have the court there, and you're
right in front of Pullman.
It's a great event.
Absolutely. And then Friday we have the homecoming parade, which starts downtown on 4th Avenue. Comes through Huntington and then ends up in Harless Dining Hall's field right there between Harless Dining Hall, which is where we have our homecoming bonfire. And that's usually always a fun time. We have a lot of vendors and a lot of people in the parade, but for the bonfire specifically, that's where we get to kind of have some fun with the students. And they have parade float winners. We have office decorating winners announced, and just some really good food and some, tunes from the band. And we have some chants from the cheer team. And it's a lot of fun for everyone to be able to get together at the bonfire and spend some time together.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an order of 50 cinnamon bites, only $20.99. Find your closest Husson's for delivery, pickup, or dine in at HussonsPizza.com. There's really nothing like homecoming in Huntington. I mean, and now that it looks like fall is here, and it starts to feel like fall a little bit, there's just something about it. I have said this before as a son of Marshall. There is nothing like fall on campus at Marshall University. When the leaves start to fall and everything, and you see Old Main in the background and just everything, there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on Saturday before the big game, we have the alumni tailgate, which is something that our office hosts. And all of these events, I know sometimes it's like drinking out of the end of a fire hose, but we've got it online. You can just look up Marshall Homecoming and find all of the events listed. And we also are going to be putting out some stuff on our Foundation and Alumni Association social medias. So that's at 4marshallu.org. Is the website, but at 4marshallu is our tags for social media, so you can find it there too.
Yeah, it's going to be a great week's worth of activities, and I always like too, because Marshall is a institution that's so steeped in tradition and built around everything revolves around the 75, and that's always a big part of it too. And it's a special place. I mean, it really is.
It's an exciting time to be in Huntington on campus. If you need something to do, we've got a lot of activity and it's free. And so come and join us and participate and connect and reconnect with the alumni and current students. And
you might get to meet the voice of the of Wheel of Fortune.
That's right.
Exactly right.
And if you come to the game on Saturday, we have a special surprise that will be up on the Jumbotron. Potentially from Vanna White and Ryan Seacrest. So make sure you're there.
Potentially. All right.
Potentially.
All right, again, hit your website, social media, where people can follow along. We'll be talking more about this, but we wanted to get you in here early so people can do the planning for next week.
Absolutely.
So hit the website, social media.
So the website is 4marshallu.org. That'll take you to our Alumni and Foundation website that you can find the list of events, or you can just look up Marshall University Homecoming and it's on the main page. And then our social medias are at 4marshallu, and of course at MarshallU for the main university, but you'll see stuff on both.
Oh, yeah. All right, Melanie Walker, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dave. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Hang out just 1 second here. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection and risk assessment services are designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paints in buildings and other structures using a 3-phase approach of inspection, sampling, and lab analysis, and an assessment report. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
You've worked hard. You've saved. Now it's time to make your money work for you without second-guessing every decision. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people retire with confidence and clarity. We'll create a personalized plan that fits your lifestyle, your goals, and your legacy. Retirement should feel like freedom, not fear. Visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. Let's get started today. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through J.W. Cole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.W. Cole Advisors Incorporated.
The West Virginia Book Festival returns to the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center on Saturday, October 25th. Meet Pulitzer Prize winner and West Virginia native Jane Ann Phillips, best-selling author Neil Shusterman, novelist and professor Rajia Hasib, and historical novelist Jeff Shara. Check out the used book sale, children's wordplay, and the festival marketplace. It's all free. More details at wvbookfestival.org.
Foundation issues? Wet basement? Drainage problems? Contact Foster Foundation Repair. Locally owned and operated by a licensed professional engineer, Foster Foundation Repair provides rock-solid service with certified results. Contact us today for a free evaluation. Foster Foundation Repair. Rock-solid service. Certified results.
FosterFoundationRepair.com.
West Virginia Contractor License WV061105.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Welcome back to the show. 7 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community Technical College. Insurance agents are in demand in the state and across the country. Bridge Valley can help you take that first step. Their insurance pre-sales licensure course will get you ready to sit in for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam and start your career in this ever-growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley Community Technical College, your career starts here. We got some text about things of the news we will get to in just a matter of moments. Well, how about we knock out a few now? How's that? Text says, Dave, it wasn't Trump who stopped the war in Gaza. It was the world protest and the media showing the slaughter of innocent children. Trump's approval rating was hitting rock bottom. He had no choice, says the texter. Metro News Midday with 13 News and tonight live anchor Amanda Barron and me coming up at noon today. The Black Walnut Festival is underway in Spencer. We're going to talk to those folks about that. The problem with adults and the way they behave at kids' sporting events. This was discussed within the Kanawha County Commission, and I actually heard a little clip from Commissioner Lance Wheeler and Commissioner Salengo when I was driving in this morning on the morning news. Commissioner Wheeler is going to join us on the show to talk about that today because, again, this is not an issue with Shawnee necessarily. This is a nationwide issue where, people don't know how to behave at kids' sporting events. And Kanawha County Commission and the folks just kind of stepping out in front of this. But it's an interesting discussion, and we'll get into that with Commissioner Wheeler on the show today. Also, we're keeping an eye on the governor's press event he has today and how that's going to play out. And, of course, in a Raleigh County courtroom, that's where Brad McElhenney's posted up on this whole vaccination court case that's going on there. And also in Raleigh County, the latest place that's passed an anti-panhandling ordinance. We are going to talk to Commissioner Daniel Hall about that coming up on the show today. Plus, Jeff Jenkins will be here with the news and, of course, Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Night Live anchor Amanda Barrett and me coming up at noon today, powered by Selango Law. On this show tomorrow, it's Friday, which means we're going to introduce you to another pet up for adoption from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Also, Chris Lawrence is going to be here to talk high school football. We got 2 games on the schedule this week, one on Friday and one on Saturday afternoon. Winfield and Ripley will play in Ripley tomorrow night. We'll have coverage of that game, but we're also going to have a Saturday afternoon game as well featuring GW, and Chris is going to talk about that coming up on the show tomorrow. Also, Greg Thomas from Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse will also stop by on the show tomorrow as well. Text says, Dave, everyone in the state needs to read Hoppy's commentary. He hit the nail on the head. So true about where we are headed as a country, says a texter. Text says, can you believe how hard this administration is going after Antifa? They say they're closing in on the leaders of a group that has no leadership. Also, why go so hard after an anti-fascist group? Only fascists would go after an anti-fascist group, says a texter. Looks like work is finally getting underway on the Fort Hill Bridge. The deck repair will get underway next Monday evening, and it's going to be done primarily between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., and they're going to work around the clock on the weekends. So plan accordingly starting Friday evening if you're coming in and out of the city of Charleston and you're taking the bridge. But I mean, look, it's got to be done. I mean, we've put Band-Aids on and Band-Aids on and Band-Aids on, and I am no bridge expert or structural engineer, but I know what I drive over every day coming into the city and coming out, and it's got to be done. So the work is going to start Monday evening, so your commute will be greatly impacted 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., but then on the weekends, because I know a lot of people come into Charleston for the different activities going on the weekends, there are a lot of folks that travel that just know that on the weekends it's pretty much going to be a 24-hour thing, and that's the best way to do it, to be honest with you. And again, hats off to hopefully getting this thing taken care of. Bigley, Piggly Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Text says, speaking of Wheel of Fortune, I can't believe the news cut into the show last night to bring the news of a possible deal between Israel and Hamas. Sure, they'll maybe have peace for a few years, but what thousands of years of hate between Muslims and Jews will resurface in some form or another. Text says, wow, how despicable by a previous texter not giving the credit to the president on the peace deal. This has been praised by people on both sides. Democrat love those two words. Get that Nobel Peace Prize paperwork in, Andrea Mitchell. Andrea Mitchell of NBC News, who said last week on, I think it was a Meet the Press, one of the news shows, she said that if President Trump gets this deal done, he will be in line for a Nobel Peace Prize. And again, and I'll go back to what the previous texter said, there's been thousands of years of conflict and so on and so forth. But if this deal gets done and it turns out the way that people hope for it to, he'll be in line for a Nobel Peace Prize. Make no mistake about it. I did want to close with this real quickly. We're going to get into this a little bit later on in Metro News Midday today. But again, I mentioned it earlier. The behavior of some parents, grandparents, and adults at kids' sporting events. I mean, we've all seen the stories. We've seen the videos online while the kids are just trying to play a game, do better. Well, they're doing something at Shawnee. They've got a pretty strict list of things about what you're allowed to do and about your taunting and things of that nature of kids we're talking about. So we'll get into that coming up on the show today. Again, on the show tomorrow, Angie Gillenwater from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Greg Thomas from Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse. And Chris Lawrence will be here to talk high school football doubleheader both Friday and Saturday here on WCHS. Ryan Nicholson, senior producer, thank you so much. See you later today on Metro News Midday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes on WVRC Media Station. We're proud to live here too.